What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another breakdown. Today, we are taking a look at French Guy Cooking. Shout out to Clement for recommending this creator. I've never watched any of his stuff up until recently. And honestly, I was surprised. Not like in a bad way, but just I was expecting you go by the name French Guy Cooking. I was expecting recipes, just cooking videos, which I would love to cover because I love food. Who doesn't love food? But I was expecting, the regular thing, the regular recipes. But as I was watching his stuff, I started realizing how much storytelling he does and how well produced his videos are, which is amazing. And as always, make sure you guys go check out Alex's channel. I'll link it down below. Like, subscribe to his channel, and then come back here and we can do this breakdown. Let's get into it. This one's called It Took 36 Hours to Create This Instant Meal.
What's up guys? Salut, this is Alex. Today is gonna be all about beef bourguignon. Not any beef bourguignon.
Okay.
Le bœuf bourguignon.
The use of titles and text essentially to emphasize what he's saying and its individual, text. Also the sound effects, very subtle, a little bit of that echo or reverb.
So in previous episodes, I've shared my grandma's recipe.
If you guys ever want to do food videos, having that shallow depth of field, look how juicy this looks. The lighting you could see here, which looks like it is an overhead light or close to being an overhead light, just really, really high up and shooting down.
I love beef bourguignon. I would love to eat bourguignon every other week. But I don't want to cook beef bourguignon every other week because it's incredibly time consuming. I feel like this is the moment where I step in.
The storytelling is amazing. We're a minute in and he has probably what feels like 30 shots already. What I like about this too is his talking head segments. Look where he is right now. He's sitting on his desk, which is completely different from here, where he kind of has switched the angle, brought the camera out towards the left side, and then shot this way. I know it's something subtle, but a lot of people when they do the talking head stuff, like me included on this channel, like I'm only shooting in one angle and this is it. It's those little changes that, you may not notice, but it actually makes a difference to the audience because there's just something different about it. It's in the same area, but there's just that slight change and that slight pattern interrupt.
I'm walking home from the studio on a weeknight, exhausted, and suddenly I
B-roll.
decide that I want beef bourguignon to lift my spirits. I want to be able to get home and be eating it within an hour, but I want every element to be made from scratch.
He's telling the story, but adding so much more visuals to it. You know what's really cool? If this was cut with this next shot, because it's like almost perfect for a match cut, because of how circular, that timer is and this pan, I think if it started without this and if it was just the pot, right, matched with this, you know what I mean? It would be such a more interesting cut just because of the shape of this timer and the pot.
I want it to be fresh and
Like
tasty.
this shot, right, matched up against that clock or the timer, would be pretty nice too.
Dream beef bourguignon in an hour. So at the moment, I'm on my way to see my
There's something about him getting up, going to the door, opening the door, and then seeing him on a bike. Think of it like this. What would this look like if he just cut it without him getting up and without the keys? Let's just watch that back. This, keys. So imagine he just cut it from him talking, not even getting up, to this. Doesn't have that same effect. It feels like he's taking us along with him because of those little moments where he's just kind of getting up and then having the keys and then to this shot.
Right here.
I know this.
You know it?
Cheek.
Cheek, exactly.
That's the one I want.
That's what you want for your new bœuf bourguignon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool little things like that. Talking about the cheek, giving us another visual. But he's breaking up the scenes. Boom. Arrow, you know what it is.
So your grandma make your bourguignon with that. So paleron
Pardon?
and le G.
These are the classic. Yeah.
For balance, your cheek is la basse-côte. It's not too gelatine.
But you're saying I need to balance it
For
out
the right balance,
with another cut.
Something just totally beyond like the actual technical skills of this is videos that always do well, I find, are the ones that are very educational because people, want to learn or excited to learn. And two that are very entertaining. His videos do both, where it's visually pleasing. There's a story, and he's taking us through it. It's entertaining just because of who he is and just like the concepts and the ideas that he has in his videos. But you're learning along the way.
Very, very careful. Move to the next shot, okay?
I love these shots. I love these shots where it's a close up of, the equipment and tools that he's working with. So, what I feel like he's done is after he shot some of his stuff to get the B roll, he would set up and light these things. I can almost tell that there's like this light. See how the light is here? So it feels like the light is overhead. So, after he shot and he wants to go back and shoot B roll, move the camera, frame it, move the lighting, see what it looks like, get a proper exposure, and it's like, cool. This is good because I could tell you right now that this is not the same lighting as a previous, just because it doesn't look like, there's a lot of light hitting this.
A bit of herbs.
So
The idea.
food videos in general, you'll probably see a lot of overhead shots. And you might be wondering, how does one get those shots? There's a couple different ways, right? Obviously, the tripod up high, pointing almost straight down, but you could get the legs in the shot, or they have, posts and poles that would go up along, the sides and running a post across and then mounting that camera on the post. So there's a couple different ways you could do that, or sometimes it's rigged on the ceiling. But because of how fast he's shooting these things and like getting so many different shots, it almost feels like it might be either on a monopod where you can't see the legs, or tripod that has an extended arm to get that overhead shot.
The wine. Wow. That is amazing.
See, it's things like that that I would just never think to do. He could have just turned off that light without showing us he's turning off the light, just to show us that flame. But giving us that extra step just adds a little bit like oomph, no? Like this, he could have just turned off the light, gave us that blue flame, but he shot that.
Sauce. It's almost like a jewel. With stock, a bit of water. It's good, but it's too winey. Touch of sugar, salt. I think this needs one more cube of stock and maybe a little butter.
Throughout this whole thing, he's showing his process and he's putting in ratios, going back and then trying, tasting it and seeing what he needs. Cool thing about this is that he shows you what he's doing. And if there's something that needs to be changed, he's also showing you that. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it's important, especially when you are making content or making videos, that a lot of people would probably, especially if you're doing like a recipe videos, would just jump to, this is how much I actually use, as opposed to showing you the process, the mistakes, or not even the mistakes, just like the changes that they're making. I think that goes with how well he's building his personal brand. There are some people who are just searching for recipes online and just don't want any of this stuff. But the people that are watching his content love this. I can already tell because I love it. I'm so glad. It makes me feel like I know who he is as a person because he's giving me all these like little tidbits of him actually going through the processes, what he would change, why doesn't it taste like this. So I think that goes a long way with why the videos do so well because of that. Not just the technicalities of it and the storytelling, but it's the process.
It's very savory. It's packed with umami. With a carrot, a bit
I'm
of
starving
guanciale.
right now. I should not
Bit
be
of it.
watching these videos because I'm hungry as a Make sure you guys like this video, share it with anyone you think would enjoy it, and I will see you guys on the next one.